In the first three episodes of Andor, we had a lot of good stuff, but one of the biggest things I missed in there was the Empire. The local security felt strange, and luckily in episodes 4 through 6, we had a lot more Empire, and it improved the Empire in the original trilogy greatly. Hello everyone, Fictional Fanatics here to discuss how Andor makes the rebellion compelling. Spoiler alert. Wee woo, spoiler! Now, this whole arc was about Andor and a group of rebels preparing and going through a mission to rob the quarterly payroll of a large Imperial sector. In the end, they do it, with few deaths on both sides, and the rebels with 80 million credits. I enjoyed this one a lot more than the previous one for a number of reasons. First one is we had a much wider cast. In the first arc, we focused on Andor and Andor only. Every character's actions are in response to what Andor does, and it feels very small scaled and closed off. But in this arc, that isn't the case. There are a few reasons for that. Most obvious is us flashing to Luthen, Mon Mothma, and Dejra. It wasn't a lot of the time, but it was nice to give us a break once in a while. And the other way is that Andor is in the core of this story. He's actually popping into someone else's planet, someone else's story, and reacting to what the others do. He gets put on a planet to steal something, and he has to figure out the rest, and hence so do we. We see his interactions with others who are all there for different reasons, and it just feels a lot more dynamic. The next and main thing I want to talk about is the Empire and the Rebellion. Basically, since A New Hope, we've seen the Empire as bad and Rebellion as good. Now, in Rebels and Rogue One, we see a bit of the Rebellion's dirty deeds, but not much. And for the Empire, it seems like just the more we see them, the easier it is for our heroes to fight them, and they're just evil, evil. But here, they're trying to recontextualize this. The first time we saw a TIE fighter, it was meant to be scary and definitely scared our characters. It scared them so much they needed to get out of the base in a matter of seconds so they wouldn't need to interact with one. They had it all planned out, and that just shows how scared they would be. In addition, in episode 6, they're building up the fear factor of the stormtroopers, and when we eventually do see them, I feel like it will be quite scary. And more for the Empire, we also see their arrogance and how meaningless they make decisions. We see them ask for promotions not for a meaningful reason, but for glory. Most don't care about the work at hand, are only there for the paycheck, like we saw some people say in season 1 of Bad Batch, I believe. And why I find this so interesting is one of the main themes of this arc is the axe forgets. It means that an axe will forget every tree it comes down, but each tree will remember the axe that cut it down. The Empire has all these hired hands, all these unloyal saws that they're using to take down a forest, but the problem is when the saws desert or choose to quit or just whatever, that leaves them with one defenseless axe and a forest full of enemies. Now, on the rebels' side, it's just as interesting. The rebellion contrasts the empire and how they do things. They need to rise up and don't have the liberty of failing, so every move is thoughtful and meaningful. They don't get promotions for glory, but they do so they can do what must be done. In addition, they are more merciful. We see how Andor and the team don't want anyone dead. Like Val says, the Empire would have just killed them in an instant if it was the other way around. And like how I discussed previously, everyone has their own rebellion, whether it's for love, a job, a family, etc. It means you have a whole lot of reasons, a whole lot of causes. I feel like in this future, when we start to see Saw Gerrera popping up in the show, another thing that will be brought up is while everyone has their own rebellion, others go farther to get it, and is there a point of going too far? And possibly the best part of this arc is the questioning of Andor's morality. We constantly see Nemec talking about his manifesto, where he writes his idealized views of the world. He discusses the evils and everything of the world, of the Empire, and sorts of ways of an optimistic view of what was or what could. In episode 6, he questions Andor, who does not care about the cause, but is able to rest, knowing he may die for a cause he doesn't care about, while Nemec can sleep, knowing that he would give it all to something meaningful. That makes one of my favorite characters because he reminds me of Leopold Fitz from Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., and two, because of his idealistic view. He thinks that he is the first person to understand how things should be. He sees what's right. And although what I'm describing sounds really arrogant and annoying, it comes as a young person who, once again, is just idealistic and hasn't seen how the world really works and all the evil of it. He then talks about why he's fine with Andor being on the mission. A mercenary is a tool, and a tool should be used. When he says it like that, it sounds rough, but it's true. But what makes Andor different from a regular mercenary is that in some respect, he does care and he is loyal. What sets him apart from Skeen? Skeen has no attachment to the rebellion and is fine leaving the team behind. I really do wonder if he did care about the kid getting him to the medic, or he had ulterior motives from the start. and how he even did get mixed in with all of this rebel stuff when he didn't actually have any rebellion in him. So that is why Andor killing Skeen and them then handing over the money was so interesting to me. Now for Andor, Skeen was a lose-lose. He didn't go with Skeen. Skeen would have killed him. If he did, Skeen was not going to let Andor walk away with 40 million credits. So it made sense for Andor to kill him. But what showed Andor's true colors is leaving the money. That shows that Andor too has a rebellion in him, but he's just not really ready to give it all to the rebellion yet. He would easily have a chance to steal the money, but that would be hurting the rebellion and the one man who gave him a chance. So what I think is the most likely to happen in the next episode is I want him to try to go back to Ferrix and realize that there's nothing there for him, and finds his way back to Luthen and the rebellion, and possibly his sister Hunt in there too. It would be perfect as it gives a chance to finish his X story. Overall, the arc in Andor was just about perfect. I can't think of anything to complain about, and I'm more excited for the future than ever. Thank you all for watching, and what do you think? Was it as good as I thought, or was it not? Let me know in the comments down below. Once again, thanks for watching, and until the next one, bye!